Today's video is on the top 5 cheapest houses.
Number 5. Italian Castle. In 2017, authorities in Italy announced a new scheme that would give 103 ancient buildings away for free. Located along historic routes through the country and nearby islands, the choice of properties included castles, farmhouses, and monasteries. The buildings had fallen into a state of disrepair, and this was an attempt to encourage entrepreneurs to redevelop them and to attract tourism. As a part of the deal, the chosen recipients would be awarded the rights for 9 years, with an option to extend for a further 9. And in return, they had to submit a proposal of what they would do to the structure and how it would be used to bring visitors to the area. It's still to be seen if the scheme was successful, but if it does work, the country's government has already said that there are another 200 sites that have been earmarked for inclusion at a future date. Number 4. Japan. A report commissioned by the Japanese government in 2013 found that there were an estimated 8 million unoccupied homes in the country, a quarter of which were neither offered for sale or for rent. Things were surprisingly bad in Tokyo, too, where 1 in 10 homes were empty, much higher than seen in New York, London, or Paris. The main cause of this problem was the country's aging population. Younger generations were either struggling or weren't interested in buying larger properties of people who had retired or died, instead choosing to live in smaller homes until they decided to start a family. To combat the problem, 2 towns, Shishikashiku in Miyagi Prefecture and Suwana in Shimane Prefecture, came up with a plan to give away homes for free to young people. The idea was such a success that another town, Okutama, which is a part of the greater Tokyo area, also started accepting applicants, the first of whom moved in on January 2019. All the new owners had to do was keep the properties in good condition and pay towards their upkeep. After being there for 20 years, the deeds would be signed over and the home will be theirs. Number 3. Stoke UK. Cobridge in Stoke-on-Trent is hardly one of the most in-demand places to live in England. But with house prices averaging £180,000 across the country, which is equivalent to around $225,000, the offer of a house for just £1 was impossible for many to resist. It's an old industrial town with a canal, abandoned factories, and the remnants of old coal mines. It was for these miners that the houses were originally built, but since the industry declined, the population has been dwindling. To bring people to the area and to improve the quality of the homes, a house purchase scheme was introduced. This saw successful applicants being able to purchase the home for just £1, but having to take out a low-interest £30,000 loan for home renovations and the agreement to remain living there for at least 5 years. Despite the restrictions, the arrangement in Stoke was oversubscribed when it launched in 2015, and other towns that have suffered from similar issues are now looking at beginning their own schemes to replicate its success. Only available to first-time buyers, it's a great way to give people a chance to get on the property ladder while renovating areas that have suffered in recent years because of the changing workforce. Number 2. Gary, Indiana. The city of Gary, Indiana is a place that has seen people move out in droves in the past 60 years. Since 1960, due to the decline in the steel industry, its population has more than halved, and more than a third of its homes are unoccupied. But with these problems come others, such as increased levels of crime and low levels of employment and education. And the school district has even resorted to selling off buildings to try to clear some of its debt. What the city really needed was more people, so in 2013 it launched the Dollar Homes program, where abandoned properties were sold to new residents for $1, so long as they earned more than $35,250 a year and made the home habitable within a year. After 5 years, they would be given full ownership. Of course, some of the houses were in a terrible state and needed to be completely refitted. The city's Department of Community Development estimated that between $20,000 to $30,000 would be spent in order to bring the homes up to acceptable levels. But this was still cheaper than the $46,000 price of a home bought in a conventional way in the city. Every few years, the lottery opens again to sell another batch of homes. And from all accounts, the program has worked phenomenally well. New homeowners have moved in, properties have been brought up to code, the area looks far better, and as a result, the property prices of other residents has increased as well. The entire community has benefited from it, and at the same time, it's given people who would otherwise be unable to get a mortgage the chance to own their own place. Number 1. Sardinia. If a former steel town isn't where you envisage your future home, then how about a place in an Italian town? In 2017, the mayor of Olalai, a small town in the mountainous region of Barbagia on the Mediterranean island of Sardinia, announced a scheme to encourage new people to move there. Described as an untouched and most authentic part of Sardinia, the town, which is full of alleys and colorful piazzas, has seen a massive reduction in its population in the past 50 years. Younger people have moved away in search of work and have left the elderly behind to live out their lives. But there are now just 1,300 people living there, but the new plan aims to change all that. 200 stone-built homes were put aside and offered to new homeowners for just €1, which is a little more than $1. They are in terrible condition though, and the offer is contingent on fully refurbishing the house within 3 years, something that's expected to cost around $25,000. It's definitely not an ideal arrangement for everyone, but after putting the homes up for sale, the town was inundated with interest from around the world, with everyone looking for a traditional Italian lifestyle. The more you see about Olalai, the more you see why. It's surrounded by spectacular countryside, hosts a carnival every year, and the locals make specialty foods, such as cheeses, pastas, and cakes. It's absolutely ideal for those looking for a quieter, more peaceful way of life, and who love the idea of a traditional Italian town. For €1, you really can't go wrong. So far, a number of the houses have already been sold, and there's even a reality TV show in production about a group of Dutch families who moved in. The long-term benefits of the scheme are still to be seen, but initial signs seem like it's been a success. Honorable mentions. Castle in the Czech Republic. If you have more than $1 but are still looking for an incredible bargain, then how about a castle in the Czech Republic? This one, called the Libojovice Chateau, was put on the market in 2016 for a price of just $13,000. The mustard-colored palace with tall windows, elaborate decor, and even balcony railings embossed with the Schwarzenberger family's coat of arms really stands out in the countryside. Despite its immaculate exterior, the interior has a lot to be desired, and the realtor responsible for selling it believes it would cost as much as 10 times the asking price to make it habitable. Still, owning your own castle that's designed to your spec inside for a price of less than $150,000? Where else in the world would that be possible? New Jersey Mansion. Designed by Dudley S. Van Antwerp, this property in New Jersey was built in 1906 and covers an area of 4,000 square feet. The 6-bedroom mansion has quite a history, having been home to U.S. football player Aubrey Lewis, who went on to become one of the FBI's first black agents. And in 2017, it was put on sale for $10. As you'd expect though, there was a catch for any potential owners. The home couldn't stay where it was and had to be moved to a new location. A development of 8 properties was planned for the land, and to help get this house out of the way, the seller offered to contribute $10,000 to the cost of relocation. Estimates for such a move ranged anywhere from between $15,000 and $200,000 though, and that's before you sorted a plot of land to move it to. It definitely has the potential to be the cheapest mansion in America, but could end up costing a whole lot more.
I hope you all enjoyed today's video, narrated by Zach this time. Be sure to subscribe for more and check out some of our recent uploads.